use me like.
Welcome to episode 2 of Mythos of War, Journey Through the Pyrenees. These are my wonderful players. Julia as Flynn Kajka.
Yeah.
Bastion as Brujita, also known as Alicia. Rosalia as the Empress, played by Gabby. Mags is playing the Professor, Dr. Elliot Fowler. And I forgot our friend Flynn's cute little field name, Cricket. We're going to jump right in. So, it is late at night. It's probably around 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It is a chilly evening on November 21st. There is a little bit of fog just above the tree level. It's hard to see the moon, but it's providing that bright ambient light. And it's just starting to dip in temperature. It's really starting to get down there. So as you guys enter this cave, this little bit of a outcropping of rocks that creates this sort of natural protection. Ellie, you're bleeding. There is blood pouring from your shoulder. Linda, yes, kept her pack. Immediately pulls out a small, not a cot, but like matting, like a bed mat to lay Elliot on. And does anybody have first aid or medical?
I think I have medicine.
I have first aid and medicine.
My first aid is good, actually.
Okay. So whoever wants to jump in can do that.
Yeah.
Like multiple people can do it, or
I mean, just like somebody's got to take the lead, and then one person can provide the help.
I will help. My stuff is in the 30s, so
mine's a 60. So does that mean I get advantage? What is that?
You get you get a D10, extra D10.
Great. 11.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're able to stop the bleeding pretty immediately. And suture the wound. This is the kind of thing that, like, right before you even came over here, they gave you something of like a crash course, some kind of essentially like a shortened boot camp kind of deal. Like, and you remember, if there's a gunshot wound, you apply pressure. If there's a bullet in there, you got to cut it out, right? Like, there's all this like things going through your head, and you're like, luckily it's just like straight through. So you are able to stuff it with like gauze, and you've created this like shoulder wrap deal that kind of comes like across and then up and down on a shirtless Elliot. Elliot, give me a Constitution roll.
Oh boy.
Give it to me at disadvantage.
Okay, that's still a success.
Okay, you are barely conscious, so you kind of like are processing a little bit what's going on. Mags, can you turn your gain up just a little bit?
Yeah.
You sound like a little bit, but like underwater.
Is that any better?
That's perfect.
Okay.
It was, and you felt like you adjusted it back. Go again. Sorry.
Is that better?
That's perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're sort of like barely conscious as Flynn is kind of like shoving this gauze into the wound to try to get the blood flow to stop. Most of it is luckily like cauterized, but there's like some smaller gashes and gapes from the ripping and the tearing, right? That are as you feel this muscle that is trauma laden and bruised and cut up being pressed. It's like hard for you to maintain consciousness, but you're kind of like in and out of it. And as you just like sort of finish wrapping him up and everybody's kind of like catching their breath, and you're double checking Elliot to make sure he's fine, you hear from the back of Ricardo say, "Is he going to leave?"
Yes, I think.
Give me a dodge roll.
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Where? Half dex. What's half of 55?
22.
Oh, I'm not gonna make this. 84.
You feel Ricardo's grip around your neck, and whatever side you have your gun to, if you reholstered it, his arm grabs that wrist, slams you against the wall, and says, "He will answer for what he's done when he wakes up. Which one of you is the traitor?
What? No. What?
One of you gave our position away.
No.
We have been through these mountains for years. We have been a team longer than you've been alive.
Please let me.
The blood of my people soaks the ground of these mountains because of you.
Ricardo.
Which one of you?" And he pulls his gun and he's pointing it at Rosalia. "Who gave it away?"
Hey, man.
Ricardo, stand down.
I'd advise you to put that
These are
gun
not
down.
our enemies.
You guys all hear a click. Linda has a gun pointed at Ricardo.
Linda, no.
And it says, "So I need you to put that gun down now."
Everyone, let's.
Everybody roll some sort of persuasion or intimidation check.
Does that include my unconscious ass on the cot?
You can, if you want. You can be sympathetically pathetic.
Just
Is this a group check or is this individual?
This is a group check.
That's
You will be rolling
You said-
against Ricardo and Linda.
You
As
said
a success on
intimidation
persuasion.
or on persuasion.
hard success on
Um,
intimidation.
Okay, I
That's a-
failed my persuasion.
That's a hard success on persuasion.
Okay, so it's fine if one of us failed. Okay.
Yeah, you see a look past. What did you use, Bastion?
Persuasion.
Persuasion. Nobody used intimidation, or Rosalia used
I
intimidation?
used intimidation, but it also is the exact same stat numbers for my persuasion, so
Okay.
if it matters,
So it's up to you. What would you
I
like
would
to
have
use?
used intimidation.
That makes sense in my mind. Towards Rosalia, or sorry, towards Ricardo, or towards Linda.
Towards Ricardo.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just making sure. You see a moment where Rosalia shows no fear in the face of this gun. You see this moment where Elliot, Elliot, give me a sanity roll.
That's early for that.
No,
No, it
it's not.
sounds
I lost
about right.
11
It
sanity in
sounds about
session
right.
0.
We're on an accelerated track here.
So that succeeds.
Okay. You are able to hold on to yourself, but the last time you seen this look on Rosalia's face is when she stared down Captain Reed as she walked onto that platform and put him out of his misery for the rest of his life.
Hell yeah.
And that wave of we're there. This is as real as that was, if not more dangerous. And you see this granite face shake Ricardo a little bit. And that moment of hesitation when he looks away, Alicia, tell me what you convey to him with that persuasion, whether what you say or what you sort of just with a look.
Yeah. I think Alethea is actually on Ricardo's side here. Like, she believes there's a mole, but she doesn't think that we're going to find it this way. And I think that is the look that she gives of like, I'm on your side. I agree. Something's fishy, but this isn't how we get answers.
Hey.
Ricardo, stand down. These are not our enemies, and certainly not Cricket.
David, you're muted.
You hear the hammer fall. Flynn, you feel the grip lessen. And he holsters the gun, I should say, sorry. Holsters the gun, turns to Philippe, goes to grab his long arm that's at the door, and says, I'm going to sweep the perimeter.
Hey, it's Ricardo, right?
He's already gone.
Linda, I thought you said we were taking care of the sniper.
How do you want me to do that? We can only provide so much information. We're doing everything we can. It's a fucking war, Flynn.
Yes. Okay.
I'm sure that sniper has orders to deal with us, and that is what we do until there is no more left.
Yeah. Just so everyone's on the same page. We've been aware of this guy for a while now. We've been trying to take care of him. It's difficult because he is very good at what he does. I don't believe anyone gave away our position. I'm worried that he's just that good and we can't stay here long.
Well, we certainly can't stay here long.
We know that whatever it is they are hiding and whatever business it is they are doing in that research facility has caused... They have been able to obfuscate and hide much of the movement, but has been a significant increase in traffic in and out of these woods. So it would seem that his appearance or emergence is one that is largely tied to that research facility. So
I want to say that when the research facility is brought up and how it's become more and more heavily armed, Rosalia like hardens, like there's a lot of rage there.
yeah, you have two American soldiers with you, and they speak up at this time. I don't know that anybody would remember their name, but if you did meet them on the way here, it is Frank and Andy. You hear one of them say, just to be clear, it wasn't us. But also, we're going to go, we think that's a good idea, so we're going to try to catch up with him, and we'll split these quadrants up, do a little bit of scouting, make sure ain't nobody too close, and give us a good idea where we're at. I don't know about y'all, but we just kind of ran, so...
Yeah, thank you. Just give him some space.
Yeah.
Philippe, assist these two.
Yeah. No, Philippe went with Ricardo.
He went with Ricardo? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
they're going to go catch up with Philippe and sort of split out the areas to go.
I just want to make sure the Americans aren't by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you could follow them. But
can I real quick, during that time, like after Ricardo left, where there was that moment of like tension, can I just like scan the room, make a psychology check? Like now that the idea of there being a mole has been planted, like I'm just looking at people's faces. Does anyone seem to be shifty?
Yeah, roll me a psychology. You can roll it right before they leave, as they're sort of talking about this.
That is a success.
What you see on these two guys' face is the look of professionals. This is a job. They, you don't see anything immediately, like that gives it anything away other than it's a little weird, but then you think about it, right? These guys have probably been fighting for like a year or two. Mm-hmm. Who knows how many people that they've killed themselves, much less, right, how many are the normal number of people that get rotated out every 3 months, 6 months,
Yeah.
and not by choice, by body bag, right? So this is kind of like, there is like a jarring coldness to them, but is not one of like being traitors. It's just like, and we move forward.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I would say on anybody else, you see a lot of just like shock and fear, and you don't see anything that's like, I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone else okay? No one else got hurt?
No, everybody's fine.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit and just like try to catch my breath after that man was in my face.
I'm
At
sorry
Oh,
about
boy.
that, Cricket. He is, we've lost many, many good people, and in a perfect world, we would not have to do this job.
No, yeah, I understand. Yeah,
I do not suspect you.
I know.
Speaking of jobs, what is it that you do?
Me?
Both of you.
Well, first of all, ma'am, hi, Flynn Kochka. I'm gonna offer my hand.
It's Cricket,
Yeah.
mother.
Oh, hello, Cricket.
Flynn or Cricket, I guess, is fine. I'm a code breaker.
All those secret messages that the Germans passed to the Italians and the Italians to the French government, who pretends that they're not actively participating in the subjugation of the people, and to the local corrupt officials, and to the Pope, and to the Church, and to the cardinals, all those messages that go back and forth about what their cover stories are for the maniacal evil doings they do, Flynn has been instrumental in helping us not only break those messages as individuals, but helping us develop a cipher.
Thank you very much for what you do.
Uh,
Takes a lot of talent.
Thank
And
you.
I believe you went to school at UPenn, correct? Somebody had told
Yes.
me that you were an old student of Dr. Fowler's.
Yeah, I didn't know. Is Elliot awake?
You could be as awake as you want, Elliot. You could be
Probably
pretending to
starting
sleep.
to regain consciousness at this point.
Yeah, I had no idea you were going to be here, Dr. Fowler. It's been a long time.
I couldn't have known that you were going to be here either.
Yeah.
Small world. I
How
suspected when you dropped my class answers were gonna be given, but wouldn't have guessed you were leaving Penn to go all the way across the world.
well, that wasn't initially the reason why I dropped. But yeah. I was not in a great place. You don't want to hear this. I'm gonna. It feels weird to ask.
What are we going to do about
Yes.
the sniper? This is wonderful. Dr. Fowler, I believe. Pleasure.
Pleasure
This is
to meet
Linda
you.
speaking. Actually, I think I fucked up. Linda had an American accent.
Linda
Yeah.
definitely
The
did
first
have
episode.
American accent. I wasn't gonna correct you because I was like, oh, maybe I'm wrong.
What are we gonna do about the sniper? Dr. Fowler, it is a pleasure. Heard great things about your work. Very formative into cryptology and code breaking. I would rather not die. What is the solution? People that do fighting. And at this point, he looks at you, Alethea. She looks at you, sorry. She says this. Yeah, she says it loud enough for everybody to hear. It's a really small cave.
Miss Atwell, as Miss Franklin said, this woman is a goddamn hero, and I've been talking with her over the radios for months. What do you mean?
I was accosted and nearly shot. I do.
Not
I
by
need to
our
get
friends.
somewhere. Okay.
I need 2 seconds. I'm not going far.
I don't think you should go alone, though. but I don't want to go with you.
Look, if it would
Linda,
make you
I need
feel
to get
better, you, Haura, I can leave.
And I think as Alethea turns to like Lynn to say, "Is that okay if I come with you?" Linda over Alethea's shoulders.
I'll just make a face at her like come on, and I'll step out with Alethea.
And she gets back to like trying to make sure because she fell and the backpack fell or whatever, right? So she's trying to make sure the radio equipment that you guys have is working.
I'm sorry about her. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, you guys step out. It's a really beautiful night, cold. Give me spot hiddens real quick and listens.
Spot hidden and listen?
Yes.
By the way, my psychology roll.
You could do these at advantage. Oh yeah, sorry. Give me
my
advantage.
psychology roll about the thing was a hard success.
You 100% notice that there's something either bothering them or some sort of like tick or whatever.
Okay.
There's something there.
But I didn't see them get shot.
No.
Okay.
That is a failure on the spot hidden and an extreme success on the listen.
And that is a success on the listen and an extreme success on the spot hidden.
Yeah, you hear you guys both hear the sounds of the forest. You hear right, some like hoots from owls and little chitterings and maybe way in the distance the sound of some wolf dogs.
Yeah.
But what you most importantly don't hear is the crunching of twigs from boots, the clank of canteens or equipment. You would guess that for a good while, because the fog, anybody who's ever gone surfing at like 6 a.m. or has gone camping really early, right, knows that like when it's really foggy, sound carries very far. So you would think that for a while you were probably pretty clear.
I'm sorry about her. I don't know what that was.
It's okay. It's a stressful time for someone so sheltered. It's okay.
How are you holding up?
I have lost 3 of my men. They were good men. We brought the best for this mission. This money is an opportunity to turn our cause around, to save a lot of people.
Yeah.
We brought our best to make sure that these VIPs make it where they need to go.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry about all of this.
It takes years of conflict to train a good man. The survival rate is not high. Lower now with the sniper. It is not your fault. That is to say that I am glad to be alive. I thank Nirea Mona for protecting me in the forest, but it will take some thought as to how we turn this from a mess to to not be a suicide mission.
Right. This might... I know we've only really known each other for a few hours, but I feel like I know you. I hope that's not strange of me to say.
No.
I
am simple woman.
Can I show you something?
Depends on what?
I'm gonna roll up my sleeve.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Alethea looks.
And I'm seeing my scars now for the first time in a while.
Yeah, so what formerly used to look kind of like pink, like almost like it almost looked like whereas Alethea's nick scar looks like an open wound, uh Flynn, yours, you guys heard that?
What?
No, okay.
There was like a
So
door.
Alethea's whereas Alethea's scar looked like an open wound, um and is like red, Flynn's scars always kind of looked like younger skin, right? They always had this appearance and this softness to them, whereas like most scars typically are calcified and are like damaged. These, it looks almost like a young child's skin, you know, like that. It's around 4 or 5 when a kid loses that like baby fat and that like real soft feel to their skin, and that's always what your scars kind of felt like. And now they don't. Now they look a little raw, and there's a little tinge around of like a little black.
Alethea like goes to like grab your arm and like touch the scar.
Mm-hmm.
Give me occult rolls again.
Both of us?
Yes.
Success.
Success.
So you guys feel a lot of the same thing, and now give me, Bastion, give me a con roll. And we'll see how much you get.
Success.
Perfect. So you get more. So the same thing happens as the first time, right? A lot of what you felt when you were initially marked, right? And I think you feel it more in depth. So Julia, if you want to share what it is you felt, this is essentially you guys are doing something of like a telepathic communication. You're being connected right now. Similarly to the way, if you remember from Sophia, right? You know that liminal space where the Watcher talks to Callum? That is sort of happening right now.
Yeah. What I felt when?
When you initially got marked. So if you want to share that, like sort of what happened with Flynn, and what they felt, you feel that strongly right now.
Yeah.
Or sorry, to be specific, Brujita, Alicia, you feel what Flynn felt.
Yes.
More powerfully, and then Flynn, you feel what Brujita felt.
It's being a child and being alone but not alone, and feeling like you're always going to be alone, but also feeling like that you like refusing to believe that, and like the sting of like a cat scratching your arm and like static electricity, and like all of a sudden like knowing you're gonna die one day, but like having no idea what that means, and it's just like everything and nothing all at once. And it's scary, but it's also exciting because it's like just something no one else has felt before.
You were just in Aura, a baby.
How did you?
Before
I think
this bond breaks, you hear Brujita, a familiar cat.
I think her hand jerks away from the scar.
And that gets cut off.
Are you okay? What happened?
You met the Ag, the
What?
Bruja, no?
Not.
Is that not where you
what?
got the scar?
No, I met someone when I was a kid. I was in the woods with my brother, and we were getting picked on by some kids, so I ran off, and there was I like stop myself because I realize I haven't told anyone this in a long time, and like everyone who I've told this to before has tried to give me some reason of why it's not true, and I suddenly feel like very protective of it. But I saw a horse, and all of a sudden, there was this girl there, and uh, she wanted to play some game or something, and then this thing came out of the water, and I don't even fully remember, but I think she was trying to protect me, so she hurt me to scare me off.
Alethea, give me a occult roll. Or
That is
yeah, occult's probably fine.
a failure.
Failure. You think you've heard of things like this, but you're not sure. But it's just the idea of like a shapeshifter.
And like I've done research on it. I there's mythology about dryads, fairies, something like that. I don't I probably sound crazy right now. I should stop. But
That is in England, no? Fairies?
I
Is not important. And Alethea sort of like steals herself for a moment, and she pulls down. She is wearing like a full like turtleneck, like, and she like pulls down her turtleneck and takes your hand and places it on her scar. Hard to make out in like the darkness and the fog, but hot to the touch, I think, right now.
And Flynn, as you touch it, Alethea, what did you feel as you became marked?
I think it's a very different sort of feeling. There's a bit of trepidation and fear, but mostly you feel resolve. You feel triumph. You feel power. You feel as though you're finally getting something that has been withheld from you for so long, the solution to so many of your problems. And in one moment, it's as though success, possibility, safety, security, love, happiness, everything that you thought was miles, planets away has suddenly come to just within your grasp.
And just on the edge of that, just on the tinge, you feel something, Flynn, awaken in you. You feel something that you didn't quite know was under the surface until this moment. And you have always considered yourself a moral man and someone who wants to do what is right and good. But right now, you want to do what feels good. You do not just want justice. And as that feeling begins to creep, and you begin to feel the power and the safety and security that revenge comes with, you feel a cry of terror from that little dryad in your head.
I take my hand back, not as suddenly, but and I think you see Flynn's eyes are glassy. I thought I was alone.
In that moment, as you say that, Flynn, I thought I was alone. Something passes between the two of you that no amount of time could have, right? Both of you have experienced lives where you have come very far very quickly and been lauded in all the areas that you have been in, right? And there is a loneliness that comes with that. And there was also an extra bit, right? Because even as much as Ricardo trusts your vision and loves you in a really pure way, never with ulterior motive, always with the idea that you would be the one that would lead us to where we needed to be. And Flynn, as much as you had people in your life that supported you and saw you, and that little bit of community you built as you sought out that Jewish community that your father so much wanted to hide, right? And your brother became not just ashamed of, but eventually hateful of, right? And as much as these people, and you learn in this moment at 25 and 22, 23. How old is Alethea though? We're 2025.
25, yeah.
25 and 23. In this moment, you both realize that there is a big difference between being loved, accepted, and being understood. And there is an understanding that you're looking at that you are looking at someone who has, although very different upbringing, different location, different educations, different experiences, that you are one and the same. And reflections of each other in this moonlight.
I wanted that ag for years. For years. She taunted me, tormented me in these very woods. Years it took to get what is rightfully mine.
What did she take from you?
She took nothing. Nothing that the church didn't already take.
Yeah.
And from there, we will go.
Can I just one quick?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna put a hand on your shoulder. I don't know what happens now, but I know I'm supposed to eventually go back to my little box, but I'm here for you.
And me, you. But what happens now? We go back inside. You comfort Linda. I learn more about Rosalia and the Doctore. We wait for the men to come back. And we do not speak of this to anyone else. It is not safe within this group or within this area, and it's certainly not safe where we are going.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And from there, we're gonna go back in time a little bit. Elsie, Rosalia. There it goes. I can't keep any name straight ever. Rosalia, you were sitting on a rock, sort of playing with a set of brass knuckles that you always carry on you. And Linda is putting headphones on and has said that I'm just gonna monitor the waves, see if I can catch any communiques between the team and any sort of base or anything. And so she's sitting, kind of playing with these little dials. Every once in a while, you see her hold it to her ear real tight, play with the dial a little bit. And Elsie is cleaning Elliot's wounds. When that sweet, dorky man touched his open gunshot wound and made him pass out from pain, he kind of like reopened a little bit of closed stuff. So Elsie's kind of got a little bit of cloth and is just kind of wiping at his chest and kind of tending to Elliot a little bit.
I'm gonna, like get closer to Elliot and, like hold the cloth, see if she needs like just a little help. I just want to be there with her because it's been so long since I've
Yeah.
been there with her. Sorry, I
You
thought
feel you feel a small hand reach across and kind of grab yours, and a lot of thanks, sort of, and a lot of stuff that I think both of you aren't the best at saying sort of passes through that squeeze. Thank you for coming, Mother.
I will always come when you call.
I do know that. I had hoped you wouldn't this time, but I mean, we still could have used the money in the strike team. Don't get me wrong.
I
I just didn't want you in danger.
You don't want me in danger? Do you know where you are? Do you know where we just ran from? Do you know where your
do know,
brother
Mother.
is?
I do, because we lived it every day. I understand that you have a significant amount more experience in this life. I understand that that experience has led to wisdom, but you do not have my experiences, Mother. Please do not condescend to me, because you do not know where we are. You
In a
have
half,
not lived the dangers that I have.
in like a half delirious state, Elliot's gonna chime in. Oh, come on. We've been through just as scary shit than this. I
I
saw a man turn into a fucking beast, for Christ's sake.
I think that Elsie and I
Elsie
both give
does not know that. You saw what?
This is the moment
It's a
where I
long
look
story.
at Elliot and I say, Dr. Fowler, you are dealing with a lot, and I think some rest
Whoa,
would do
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa, whoa,
good.
whoa, 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 whoa. No, Mother, stop. You're doing the thing. We are not in your boardroom. You are doing the thing. Stop it. What? You saw a man turn into a what?
Rosalia, we can't keep running from this shit.
And with a hard success and an extreme success in hearing Alethea and Flynn also hear that. You hear a half delirious Dr. Elliot Fowler, who works in cryptology and mythology and whatever other ologies that are made up and fake that people from like the Da Vinci Code specialize in. You hear this man, who's also been on numerous adventures with the world's most famous traveler. Alethea might not know that. Maybe does. Flynn definitely knows that. Muted, probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume doesn't get really. I mean, although there's a good chance, right? There's a lot of these like smaller outback countries that grow up loving like comic books and stuff like that, and pulp novellas are kind of the thing that floated around these
Elliot's
days.
name is still on them in very tiny postscript,
Tiny
but it's
print.
there.
Often not even a shaded character on the cover art. But anyways,
did we hear that from outside or as we're like re-entering?
You hear that as you're entering.
I'm gonna, back to Elliot. I wasn't personally there when that happened, but I did see the creature, but
You were still involved. You were a part of this.
Elliot, put out your hand.
This one?
Is that the one with the scar
Pointing to
on
the
it?
giant, yeah, it's his left hand.
Yes, explain that.
Oh, this? Yeah, I had to cut my hand open to open some ancient goddamn grimoire that one of your servants had to teach me how to open.
Alethea, when you hear ancient fucking grimoire,
Mm-hmm.
immediate ding 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 ding, right?
Dr. Fowler is doing a better job of interrogating themselves.
Yeah. And you're about to
It's the
get
pain meds.
Fowler's about to get an alley-oop from Elsie, who says, okay, wait. I had heard once upon a time when I was having drinks in DC, and then once again in Munich, that maybe it was not some fever from the east that caused all the violence on the Sophia. Mother, why would you hide this from us? How did that monster kill? That monster kill?
We don't know what killed your father, but it wasn't him.
That monster was helping us kill the people.
Wait, what the fuck?
The
That
monster was
monster was
helping
a
us.
friend of ours.
Wait. Roll it back.
Probably one of the best
And
of us.
then we don't need to like go through this. Go
Yeah.
watch SS Sophia,
Sophia.
and then come back here.
I will say Flynn in all of this is like watching, definitely making eye contact with Alethea, just be like, you hearing this shit?
Yeah, so you two are free to give as much or as little, and like, is there anything specifically you would hold out? Is there any like?
Yeah, I'm specifically saying like I'm observing that this is a family affair, so like even though I have a million questions,
Well,
I'm not.
this is actually why it's going to be important to you in a second, because
Yeah.
depending on what they hold out, VP is going to be mentioned.
Uh-huh.
As
That was the plan.
I think with the help of the amount of pain meds Elliot is probably on right now, Filter's gone.
okay.
And I think it's partially that and partially the guilt that all the information he withheld from Charlie all these years is part of the reason why Charlie's dead. And he
Yeah.
wants to make sure that that doesn't happen while they're here.
So you just go full.
I
I'm
want
laying all my
to.
cards out on the table this time.
I want to make a.
What do you want to
like
hold back?
I want to make a comment to Elsie and say, my father was a coward and he was part of this group, the Virgo Pastoris.
Yeah, immediately looking for rings in the room.
You don't see any in the room.
Okay.
Yeah, and you've never. I mean, I guess you've never seen Linda in a formal event, but you've never heard Linda mention anything or whatever, right? That's the only other person in this room.
Yeah.
And none of these people have any rings. But through the course of the story, you probably also would have heard that Elliot was roped into the VP as a young college student at 16 or 17.
Wait, Dr. Fowler.
Yeah.
You were in the VP?
Yeah, my engagement with them was extremely loose until I met
Holy shit.
Mr. Montague, and then was pulled aside by Captain Reed. And then once I knew everything that they were about and what they were about to do on that boat, I could not, in good faith and in my conscience, align myself with them any longer. US Pastoris or not.
I mean, yeah, I quit them too.
You did what?
I mean, I'm guessing you met them at the same place? I thought it was just some frat.
Yeah, I thought it was the same. Elliot's now feeling like an immense like sympathy guilt because he's now looking almost like looking in a mirror of himself as looking at someone who is probably manipulated in the same fashion as he was, but at a much younger, probably a much younger age than Flynn was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't stick around long, but
Good.
And like his voice kind of cracks on this. My brother's still in it.
Did your brother go to UPenn?
We both did, yeah. He only got in because of me, and now I don't. He's not my brother anymore. I don't know why
Where
we
is
don't
he
talk.
now?
I don't know.
Is he part
And
of?
Mr. Koshka.
Huh?
Mr. Koshka, who gave you the ring?
Well, we were let in by this girl who was a few years above me. Her name was Genevieve Barkley.
The person who would have presented you your ring at your induction ceremony is Brock Canton.
Brock, sorry, let's say the last name.
Canton.
Han?
Canton.
Hanton. Okay. Well, I was introduced by this girl, Genevieve Barkley, and then I was given my ring by this guy, Brock Canton. I don't know if...
Of course you were.
What do you know about
Motherfucker,
her?
of course you were. We were classmates.
No
Princeton
shit.
University. Yup. Told you, small world.
This is...
Dangerously and scary small world.
I'm just glad someone else knows how shit they all were. I felt crazy. They, like...
They're monsters, to say the
Yeah.
very kindly.
They completely changed... Well, I want to say they changed Aaron, but I think he was always going to go down some stupid fucking road, and I don't know where the guy is anymore. I don't care to know.
Oh, I could tell you exactly where he is. He's working with the government, and that's why I'm here. So.
Wait, you don't know my brother, do you?
I don't know your brother, but I know of Brock. And that's why why I'm here.
Brock is
I'm
the
like
man.
starting to...
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You go ahead.
Brock is the man who helped coordinate getting us here.
Well, then my brother's definitely not working with him.
That's good.
Give me a no roll.
Me?
Yeah.
That's intelligence, right?
Yes.
Education.
Yeah, it's education.
Or you could do idea. I don't really care which one.
Well, education's better. Success.
Yeah, there's almost no way it's the same. Like, this is the guy who maybe turned / flip your brother. You remember hearing something about, like, uniforms or something. Or, no, sorry, arms. This is a gun dealer kind of guy. That was the one who your brother kind of got hooked up with. And that's why they were going to go to Sweden. Because this person dealt out of, like, a non-extradition neutral nation. And was dealing arms and you now suspect was probably dealing arms to Nazis as well. And that's kind of how your brother may have made some connections that were loose.
Yeah. And I feel like I haven't spoken about my brother to anyone ever really, and like the more is being revealed, the more I'm realizing like, oh, I'm probably sharing too much, and I actually don't want to be talking about my brother, and I don't want to be asked questions about him.
I think Elsie picks up on that and is like, wait. So, okay, sure, I will join you on that. God, some sort of monster, some beast. A man was turned into a beast.
Yes.
By a magic book. Orchestrated, or sort of the catalyst event for this was a group of wealthy people who are in some sort of weird fraternity together were going to sacrifice their children to bring back other of their children.
Yeah, you're getting it. I don't.
More like a cult than a fraternity.
And Grandpa
really.
was on board until it was you and not Uncle Ainsley.
Yes. He was murdered because he would not kill me. And I'm sorry I withheld that information. It is too complicated. How do you tell your daughter, your grandfather was part of a murderous cult? Also, I saw a gigantic, a man turn into this gigantic monster. It's...
Yes, I can see.
I kind of lean over to Rosalia and be like, I think you just found the words there.
I appreciate that,
okay,
Dr. Fowler.
What does all of that have to do with this, then?
The point is there are some members of the Virgo Pastoris who are currently in collaboration with the Nazis.
And they have the grimoire that I took off the boat.
And they also
Oh.
are the people who took your brother.
How did they get the book?
They broke into my house. They broke into the house when I was up in Boston that weekend. And that was when I found Charlie dead on the floor.
Elsie doesn't know that.
Well,
I'm gonna
Gosh,
lay
oh,
my
he
hand
Charlie
on
said?
Elsie's. Yeah.
Ay, Dios mío.
I
And
should
she
be laughing at this.
storms out.
Elsie,
She's gone.
I'm
Again, this is like 8 feet. If you want to follow, you can follow. Anybody can.
I was
gonna
gonna
look
follow
to
her.
Rosalia and
Yeah.
see, assume like you want to handle that.
Yeah.
She just shouldn't be alone.
Yeah, I'm following her
Yeah.
out.
Perfect. At this point, Ricardo and Felipe walk in.
Ah,
It's all clear. Está bien.
Ah.
Brujita, if I could have a moment.
of course, Ricardo.
And he kind of like gestures to the outside the gate.
Don't worry, Linda. The murderous Spaniards are leaving.
Linda wasn't thinking anything of the sort, right, Miss Atwell?
What? No, not it.
You need
Miss
help?
Atwell.
She hears nothing.
Good.
Yeah, you guys walk out into that same cool evening. The moon is starting to fall. It's starting to get pretty late, 2 or 3 in the morning now. My apologies. But you know,
You were right.
I have to find the rat fuck.
There is no chance that we lose our safe house and the sniper is there. It's coincidence. It doesn't exist. Something is wrong.
Yes.
It's could be the Americans, could be the rich giants, the Doctore who doesn't even know how to fix themselves.
And what kind of doctor is what? He just sits there like a lump. This pretty girl and the young boy with glasses, they go and they fix him, and he just no direction, no nothing. What doctor of what? Doctor of nerds.
We can trust Cricket. Cricket is trustworthy. But the others I'm not sure.
This is what I know. I can trust you, and I can trust Felipe. Trusting you means trusting your judge. So I will follow your lead. Always.
When we get the chance, we search their belongings, look for any signs, figure out who the mole is. We do it quiet. We get caught, we lose all of our trust. We lose all of our power, all of our bargaining chips, gone in an instant. We have to play this careful, Ricardo. Nire Laguna. Careful.
I'll leave him alone long enough. Seems like the drugs are working on the doctor. Maybe he perhaps will give away his position with a little more pride.
The doctor has certainly given away a lot in the last 10 minutes. And I think Alethea will, give the insane story that she just heard.
And a very not Catholic Ricardo does a sign of the cross.
That is blasphemy.
What are these people we bring to our land?
These are people that know creatures like La Bruja.
My only worry is their contact with these creatures can act as a beacon for others. And as he says that, and you feel this time maybe a psychosomatic twinge of your scar, give me a listen roll.
That is a hard success.
Yeah, and as we pan away from you, we will pan to the sound you hear, which is that of a young girl crying. Doing their best to hold it in and doing their best to not give away position or have it carry, but you hear, just as you did all those years ago, for the first few nights you ran from home when Abuelita's home was burned down and you had to find your own way. Many nights you stifled your sobs, and that familiar sound as you enter back into the cave pierces into both your ear and your soul. And we will stay with Rosalia and Elsie, who is hunched over, kind of grabbing her knees. Her usually very, still had makeup on from the evening, is now sort of ruined as it trails down her cheeks, and this line of black liquid cuts through the rosy blush as it makes trails down to her chin, meeting at the center of it.
She's holding her knees, so she's on the ground, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna...
Kind of that, like, Asian squat, kind of heels down.
Yeah.
Kind of, like, holding, yeah.
I'm gonna, like, get on her level and get next to her and, try and clear up the makeup, wipe a tear, and say, "Sweetheart, I'm so sorry. There was so little time to talk to you about this, and
I knew he was sick. I thought I'd be able to say goodbye.
we all did. It hurt. It still hurts. And I'm so sorry you had to find out this way. I wanted to pull you aside and talk with you about this, but Uncle Elliot decided he had other plans, and I don't know how to fix this."
Fucked up. Just like, didn't mean what he said. Just like grandmother when she was all fucked up. Didn't mean what she said. No.
What?
I don't. You know why I stood here, Mother?
Why?
You know why it was so fucking important to me and Dickie? Thing that me and Dickie have talked about for ages. And I believe it now more than ever. What would before tonight was what was speculation is now the firmest belief. We're cursed. We, as a family, are cursed. There is no other explanation than the pure amount of evil we've put out in the world only comes back for us to reap what we have sown. And it is all that pain and all that sorrow and all that blood we have shed for money and diamonds and minerals, metals. And it all comes back. And it all comes back.
Elsie.
And now, Father, you did nothing. Who was nothing but a saint. Who was the best of men paid for mere association.
Sweetheart, we are not a curse. There are people in the family who have done bad things, but look at the good that you and Dickie have been doing. Bad people don't do good things for the benefit of others. They do things for the benefit of themselves. Dickie is a good person. You are doing good things. This family is not cursed. It runs in the family, but it stops with you. You and your brother are the most incredible people I've ever met in my life.
No, he's probably gone.
I'm gonna look her dead in the eye and say,
We go
shut
to the corpse.
up. Your brother is strong. Your brother is his father. He is not gone until we get there, and I know.
He is not his father. And you've never seen that. He's his own man. Don't you see how much it hurt him for you to see him as that? You're so fucking smart. Nothing gets past Rosalia. No hidden ulterior motive, no pain that you can't poke and prod at your whim to get the puppets to dance for you the way you fucking want them to. And yet you can see that your only son was not uplifted by, but burdened by the comparisons. But hurt and weighed down by the lofty expectations of a ghost who had nothing to live up to, and only grew in size and estimation. And what was he? What was my father, Rosalia? But for a week? But for a few days? What was he? Who was Dickie's mother? What did he do in Japan? You think I couldn't find out? You think a famous boxer doesn't leave a trail? Do you think that me and Dickie are his only children?
Deep breath. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
do. If you ever want the answer, answer me then. It's not important. Look, he's gone. I don't want to pick up another corpse. I don't want to say goodbye to another person. But you have to know that if we make it out of this, you have to make amends for that.
I will.
Dickie is not the only one haunted by the ghost of my father. Sorry, you are not the only one that is haunted by the ghost of my father.
I'm so sorry. This is my fault. I sent him away. I didn't tell you. I wasn't honest with him. I wasn't honest with you. It's my fault he's there. And I will do everything in my power to make it right. For you, for him. And knowing that I hurt him by sharing things about his father, by comparing him, that hurts. But I know it hurts him and you more than it hurts me. And I will spend the rest of my life, the rest of my existence, and every lifetime trying to fix that. And repair the damage that I caused.
I know, and Dickie knows that too. It's so difficult because... Mother, you did your best. You tried. I know that. We know that. Dickie knows that. And that's just kind of what we talked about, is this idea that, like... And I shouldn't have said what I said. It's his conversation to have with you, and I pushed him to try to have it with you, and I'm so scared that he'll never have the chance. I'm scared, Mom.
I'm scared too. But until my last breath, I will fulfill every promise I've made. And fulfill my job to take care of you and your brother. No matter how scared we are strong.
And she reaches out to hug you at this point.
I hug her
And
so tight.
And she just kind of holds you for a while. Thanks. During this time, Elliot, I think at this time the morphine's wearing off a little bit.
Yep.
After you got juiced up, once you made yourself pass out and somebody gave you a little bit of relief. What is sort of going through Elliot's mind as they sit here and reflect on the world they have wrought?
I think they're coming, like, now that they have he has sort of a sense of clarity. It's like a weird mix of like relief that all this information that he's kept like very much like deep in his own like secrets has now been like revealed, but he feels a deep sense of guilt about it because he feels that he should have talked about it much sooner than clearly now, and especially with more people than just like Elsie and the people like Charlie should have known this information, and he's like kicking himself and feeling an immense amount of guilt that he held on to it for so long and couldn't even trust the person he loved with it.
Yeah. And what is the look on Elliot's face that Flynn would see?
Like his brow is like deeply scrunched. It's like it almost looks like he's trying to solve some like riddle in his head that there's no answer to, mixed with like a face of like disgust almost.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And Flynn, what's sort of going through Flynn's mind as you see this man that you thought was just another kind of UPenn professor, right? Like, generally nerdy, not super physically capable, whatever, right? Like, nothing personal, but nothing great, nothing stand out.
Oh, yeah.
And it turns out he's possibly the most interesting person in the world.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like, I'm thinking a lot about what everyone said in the story of the Sophia. I'm assuming I've like heard of the SS Sophia.
Yeah, you definitely would have heard. It's kind of one of those things like almost like a 9/11 or whatever, right? Of like, it's like a fucked up thing that happened. And because it happened to so many like famous people, it had huge actual... Okay, let's take a little break. Roll a history check.
Oh. Blah.
Because I thought about this.
Where's my fucking... Okay. I had another thing open and everything's fucked. Okay, there we go. 100. Sorry.
It was a big deal. It was in your history class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, definitely it's crazy that, like, these many lines are converging. So, like, I mean, definitely, like, thinking that is so strange, but then also, like, more than anything, I'm thinking about, like, I just said a lot about Aaron that I didn't want to talk about, and I said, like, multiple times, like, he's not my brother. I don't want to talk about it. And then I kept talking about it, and why did I do that? And I don't want to think about him anymore. And just like getting like riled up, just like thinking about his face, like makes me angry.
Give me a idea roll. Not a no. Int,
so,
not edu.
Like hard success.
Hard success. So you think about all these things. You think about things converging, and you're thinking about your brother and Dr. Fowler and Brock Canton and William Donovan that you met one time, and Genevieve, and you're thinking about all these things and all these people, and your brain automatically does the thing that it does to feel comfort, which is start to lay out pattern. And you're realizing that this could, and you think about a little bit about a increasingly well-known physicist at the time who had a theory of gravitational waves. And you think of gravity, and you think of the way that objects of immense mass don't just accidentally meet, they are in fact pulled towards each other. And that oftentimes the convergence of these huge, dense, not even necessarily huge all the time, right? But these incredibly dense, these incredibly bright, hot, large masses of things converging often create waves that is so powerful from light years away we can detect and feel the very fabric of space-time being moved and adjusted. And you think of the ways that the world, as you kind of remember that now, as you like brushed over it a little bit and you couldn't really remember earlier about this, Sophia, but now you remember how many like offices of like secretaries of defense and like, you know, diplomats and CEOs and whatever, and like that's why it was such a big deal. It wasn't just that these people died, it was that it was like the most important people in the world died. And it was part of the catalyst that started a sort of like proletariat movement of, hey, if our entire economies depend on these little group of people, that's a bad thing. And so you think about, and then you think about the effects that had in Europe and the ways that affected the a desire for change and the inbreeding of fascism, right? And all these things. And you think that it's wild to imagine that you may be one of those masses and another one of them might just be outside. And you wonder what destruction in waves will result from you two converging.
Dr. Fowler?
He I almost called you Ainsley. That's incorrect and wrong. Flynn
Not
would kind of see
so easy, is it, Dr. Fowler?
Shut the fuck up. um, Flynn would kind of see Elliot just like on the ground, like fumbling with the pocket watch, and he just like kind of shakes himself out of it and just looks up. Oh,
Sorry, did
Mr.
I wake you?
Koshko. No, you're fine. You're good. And he
You can call me Flynn.
Okay, Flynn.
I'm sorry to hear about your brother.
He was not my brother, but thank you.
Oh. I'm sorry. Elsie said, I don't mean to. It's not my place. Either way, I'm sorry.
Harley or Professor Gallagher, if you would remember him, was kind of hard to admit this. Was
You don't
more
have to.
than. Thank you.
Elliot,
I appreciate it. Yeah.
do you not have to?
Harley was more than just research partner. He held a part of my soul that no one else could. And now he's gone.
Oh. Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, people are people.
He wasn't just a person. He was probably the best of us.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The amount of times I've heard that, if it could bring it back.
I know that's not helpful, is it? Yeah. Uh, I'd say I understand, but it's not really the same thing. So I guess I don't.
It's okay. I'd
Whatever.
say I'd say I'm here for diplomatic reasons. I'd say I'm here for whatever the fuck Brock Hinton put in my file to send me out all the way out here in the middle of a fucking battlefield. But it's kind of a little bit more selfish than that.
Now that I understand. I'm gonna need to tell everyone this eventually, but you should know. When I said that there are members of the VP who are collaborating with the Nazis, I have reason to believe that my brother is one of them.
That's what I feared.
Bastion, give me a listen roll.
Yeah.
What was that?
Give me a listen roll, please.
I was gonna
I mean,
ask
it's
if
okay
I
if
could
she needs
do
it.
the same thing, but I don't know if this is in the middle of.
That is
I'm
a
fine.
failure.
I'm fine with just automatically giving that to her, though.
If you want, that's fine. No, this is, you guys are still a little bit farther away. We went.
Yeah.
This is happening.
I
This
thought
is happening
so,
as that
but
conversation's happening.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to give it to Alethea, then you give it.
You can have that.
That's
Yeah.
fine. But if you also give it to Ricardo, who
That's
Alethea, the moment you hear that, there is a I don't know why I was gonna say if you guys ever knew this, but you wouldn't know this, right? But there's a thing that people do before they're gonna go into combat. Some people, where they like kind of like turn off their humanity. They kind of like, it's like a flushing, and it's almost like a veil or like a wave or like it's like something comes over them and they are not that person. And for the briefest moment, Alethea, you see that fall and then fall back away from Ricardo's eyes.
If we meet his brother, then we do not hesitate to kill him.
We meet his brother meets his end. I agree. Yeah. So if you guys want to continue Elliot and Flynn, or that might be a good time for everybody to converge. I don't know.
yeah. Seeing Ricardo come back, I would want to talk to him.
Yeah. There's kind of a now there is a bit of settling in. So we'll say at this point, Andy and Frank come, Rosalia and Elsie just right after that, and there's Elliot. Now is, I think, a good time. Give me because you mentioned it at the time and you're not ad hocking it, and I will give you credit for that because it was tense. You can roll with an advantage to find what you get off of those Nazi soldiers.
Okay.
And then
What am I rolling for?
sorry, give me a luck roll just to see. First, give me a
Okay.
luck roll to see what you find on. Yeah, just give me a luck roll. That'd be perfect. And then Rosalia, you could roll for same with advantage on what you got off Ace. Yeah, Julia. Ricardo is just kind of like setting stuff out for the night, and he's talking with Andy and Frank about setting up a rotation for like who's going to stay up, how long they're going to sleep, because they know that Elliot needs a little more rest. So it's kind of like they're going to have to be exposed during daylight. But then they're talking about that might be better if we wait till the late afternoon and walk towards the sunset, which is where you're headed west, you think.
Yeah.
That might be beneficial because the sniper's not going to be able to see as well. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Ricardo, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna say in Spanish. I just wanted to apologize for any doubt we may have accidentally seeded. I just want you to know that this is the work we're doing here is important to me, and I would never. No, I don't think any of us. I guess what I'm trying to say is I trust you, and I would hope I would want for you to trust us. I understand that that's hard right now, and everything is this is scary, but I want us to be a team, and this is important to me. Your friend, our friend, gesturing toward Alethea, she's clearly important to both of us. I just want you to know I'm not your enemy. Apologies for my grammar, if it might not be. I'm still learning.
Give me just give me a luck roll too.
Luck?
Yeah.
Success. Well, I mean, the luck doesn't have the hard and extreme numbers. It's a 42 on a 75.
Yeah. You hear a word that you don't recognize in a language that sounds not really even that familiar, to be honest. It sounds like a curse, maybe. And as Ricardo stands up to his full height, which is about 6'2", you see how wiry, like you see the difference. You remember what you felt like and looked like when you went to UPenn. When you spent really every day out doing the thing, right? And this is a layer above that. This is a man hardened by war, but even before that, hardened by life, by the very environment that you are around now. The cruelty with which this mountain range swallows up life that is unprepared for it has left this man hardened in a way that you've seen in very few. And he comes real close to you and he says, Spanish is the language of my oppressor. Basque is my people, and it is my region. If Brunhilde trusts you, then I will follow her lead.
Thank you, and I didn't mean to be disrespectful.
No offense was taken.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. I'd love to learn Basque someday.
I doubt. And he turns back to his pack. Let's get those luck rolls.
Me?
No, Rosalia and Elliot.
Oh, okay.
I got a 28 on a 65.
I got a 15 on a 70.
If we could just get hard for whatever success in the future, that would help me along.
Yeah, I don't know how that.
But luck just has like the starting
You cut it in
value. It
half.
doesn't have the.
If it's in half or it's a fifth. So yours is less than half, Elliot, and Rosalia, yours is what?
15. So it
That's
is
extreme.
less than half.
Yeah. And what was your luck number though?
70. So
Oh yeah, so it's a fifth.
it
Okay.
would
Um okay, so a hard and an extreme success. Um let's start with Elliot. Elliot, you find as you're getting ready to bed down, you
Mhm.
find the only thing you find is a communique that says the name of the bar, the wine bar. I can't remember what I named it right now. And the location. Um, and then there is actually a ring on this person's body.
What color is it?
It's just iron.
All
And
right.
then there's extra notes of keep the girl alive, the Spanish one. Rosalia,
yeah.
what you find is you find his, it's like a little moleskin field journal. And what else you find is a ring that is silver. You find a note to a this is Ace's stuff for Rosalia. And you find a letter, you find two letters. You find one to it says Dear Mom and Dad, and it's kind of just a if you're reading this, I'm dead. I tried to live up to your expectations. I did what I thought was right. I'll miss you every day, and I'll be waiting for you. And then there's another one to a woman named Christina, and it says something similar of just I had hoped to be your husband. I thought I could earn your favor. Um, don't forget about me. Ace. And yeah, and in the journal though, what you find is this is all the information you guys kind of need. This is all the intel. These are the field notes of this is the general direction that you know that the research facility is in. This says all like you find that stuff about you find some stuff about Eriotza Asatura, right? Death delayed. You find some other information that looks like it was handwritten from a note, right? It looks like this stuff was probably not meant to be written down and was in a like some sort of like a lot of like these communiques are written on like film paper or stuff that is like supposed to burn or disintegrate or thrown in water or whatever, right? That is like very easily transferable. It looks like Ace may have broken the rules a little bit and sort of copied some stuff down, thinking, hey, if it's on me, it's secure. And so, yeah, you find a lot of the intelligence that Ace probably would have been briefed with, and the only differences that you see from what you've seen to what or sorry, from what you've been briefed to what is in this notebook is the description and a sketch of what Dr. Fowler described as a fucking beast. Not specifically like the Watcher, but like it kind of like a nightmarish version of a Pyrenees mountain dog. Larger fangs, sort of closer to like a saber tooth, like dire wolf in size, but is looks like it almost has like no real meat on it. It's like very gaunt and skinny. It and it says that there are sightings of these around the research facility. And in what looks like is not copied a note, and it says attracting ? Circled, and like right next to the lab, and like an arrow between the lab and the dog, kind of thing. Yeah, so that's what you guys find as you guys bed down. Go ahead. Okay, so here's how this nighttime stuff works. It's winter. It's November. Do you light a fire and risk discovery, or do you do con checks at disadvantage, and risk injury?
Is there any way we can mitigate? Because we're in a cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, is there any way we could like block the entrance to make it more concealed?
That's carbon monoxide poisoning, I think.
We'll certainly
You're
die.
so right. That's.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to do that, maybe.
If you wanted to speedrun dying in this campaign in a very plain
That's
way,
so
sure.
plain.
And that's how the
Okay.
game ends.
Never mind.
And then everybody dies in their sleep.
No, but if
Yeah.
we do the con saves at disadvantage and get like hurt, is that frostbite type thing that cannot be healed with
It'd be like a
first aid?
cold,
Ow.
and so you'll just take like a 1d10 penalty to any physical moves.
I'll ask a
A
different
chill
question then.
will set in.
Could we potentially mitigate that by huddling for warmth?
Yeah.
If people are comfortable
I am
with such things.
100% comfortable with cuddling
That is
Elliot
actually
and
a
Elsie.
thing that if you would have said, I would have said yes to. So
One
if
big
everybody
bed.
agrees to it,
Yeah.
then you guys can cuddle for warmth.
Are we Willy Wonking it?
One big bed.
But I still just need a constitution check, and this is a group check. So if everybody
Okay.
passes, everybody
All right.
passes. And if everybody fails, everybody fails.
I failed.
Ooh,
Pass.
extreme success.
Okay,
Fail.
it's up to you,
I
Fowler.
pass.
Perfect. That's 3-2. Extreme counts for 2. So yeah, you guys break the tie. You guys are
I
getting
definitely
ready.
don't initiate. Oh,
Sorry, what's that?
I was just gonna say for flavor, like I definitely don't like initiate the idea.
Yeah.
But like if someone is, yeah.
Yeah. As you are bedding down, and as you are like getting into one big bed, hey, I know references. And you're getting, and you're kind of like you at this point you're getting like concerned about Linda a little bit because she's just still sitting there. And as you like just go to get up to like, all right, it's just time. Like you gotta sleep. We gotta sleep at some point.
Yeah.
You get up, and as you get close, like she sticks her hand out, and you see her turn the dial up, and she grabs a notebook and writes down a code.
Can I like
You don't have
look
your
over her
gear.
shoulder?
You don't have your cipher, but you can look over this and give me a what am I looking for? Yes, it would be.
I have cryptography.
Yeah. Okay. That I just couldn't find. There it is. Yep, in the science. Yes. Please give me a cryptography roll at advantage with Linda's help.
Success.
You can't get out the details right now, so you'll need to take another look. But you get 5 on foot. 5 on foot with, and then like in a general region, southwest region, headed towards facility.
Okay. I'm gonna like once she's done with that, I'm just gonna like tap her shoulder and like motion for her to take the headphones off.
And she kind of like nods and just curls up to sleep.
Yeah. Flynn assumes that everyone would prefer him being on his own. So unless someone reaches out, he's probably just gonna like, huh? He's probably just like going to uncomfortably lay like within proximity to Linda, but like isn't like is kind of just like sandwiching himself in between two people for warmth. Isn't like asking for any additional comfort unless it's offered.
At some point, you feel Linda's hand, not interlaced, not in a romantic way, but just kind of like slide over to yours and just kind of like pull you. And just, I don't want to feel alone. If that's okay.
I'm here.
And you guys drift off to sleep. Flynn, I wasn't going to do this, but now I am. Flynn, you're running through the forest.
Oh.
You are a young boy. You are running, and you're running towards that lake, and you can see the glimmer of the unicorn as its a little sparkly horn is bouncing in between trees and in and out of vision, and you're almost there. You're chasing. This is a very familiar vision you've had, very familiar dream you've had since you were that age, right? And you're like going, and you're going, and you're going. And you're chasing this horse thing, or sorry, this unicorn, and as it like makes a turn, you fall and roll down like a hill, and you are stopped in the chest by a gnarled wooden staff. And as you look up, a horrible, old, mottled gray face looks at you and says, "In the wrong woods, dearie," as you wake up. Alethea, you had a beautiful dream that you were riding a horse. And there was like another young girl on the horse with you. And like, was it a horse or was it a unicorn? What were you holding on to?
I can't remember the last night. I did not have a nightmare.
Yeah, it feels like a weird, yeah. But it's also one of those dreams where like you woke up and you're like so certain that your brain couldn't have come up with that you like start to forget the dream. Yeah. So as we get ready to head out, does anybody want to get anything off their chest before we finish up today's episode?
I'd like to privately talk to Alethea if I can.
Yeah. Alethea, what are you doing to get ready for the morning?
Yeah, I think, was the intel from Ace shared with the group? Yeah? All right. Then to get ready for the morning, she's going over that intel with Ricardo, and like both of them working to commit it to memory, maybe even making their own copies of it, should they need it, so that they like independently know what they need to do to get to the facility, what's kind of expected when they get there, things like that. And Flynn, did you share the message about there being 5 on foot?
Yeah. Linda and I found this last night. Not quite sure what it means, but yeah.
Then setting up a betting table on which 4 people in the group are not included in that 5 on foot.
I just realized what you mean by that. Jesus.
I love that so much. Yeah, so as Alethea is making these markings in her notebook, she has her own little field journal, little moleskin, in a language you don't really recognize. And maybe you put together that this language is the one that Ricardo referenced. Not that you were trying to read it, just
Right.
catches your eye, right?
Alethea, can I borrow you for a second?
Of course. Just make sure that you return me.
It can wait if you're doing something important.
No, we are mostly done here.
Okay.
You can take it from here, Ricardo?
Yes, I will go with the Yankees follow back, and Felipe will join you two up front.
I laugh knowing one of them clearly has a southern accent, and like that's just funny to me, but I don't say anything about that.
Many thanks. Yes, cricket, and sort of follow you a bit off.
I was thinking about some of the stories people shared last night, and you know, if these people really have seen everything that they're saying they've seen, then and I'll just kind of like subtly tug on my sleeve. Maybe we can trust them more than we thought.
Your intel said 5 on foot, yes? From the Germans?
Yes.
Assuming that they're counting enemies on foot, right? That would mean that roughly half of our group is spies. Yes? There are 9 of us?
I guess, yeah. No, you're right. I just...
There is a chance that they miscount. That the best sniper in the world did not see certain individuals. There is a chance that they knew we had the best codebreaker in the world, and are thus trying to keep us on our toes. But cricket, I do not believe in coincidence. The fact that we lost our safe house and the sniper was right there waiting for us is fishy, no?
No, you're absolutely right. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I guess I just thought everyone feels so much more connected than I thought they would.
In this, Doctore is, or was part of an organization with known Nazi sympathizers, yes?
Probably not at the time.
Lynn, give me a idea roll. Or you can give it a no roll. Sorry, it could be you.
Yeah. Success.
All of this is compelling and interesting and true. However, I could have been more specific. That is what you get now with a regular success, is what I said. There was chunks of this message that you could not really decipher. Lines are whole. You think you have about 30 to 40%. Right, and it's those specific words, right? So you can catch the main ones, the ones that you see all the time. Mm-hmm. Right? 5 operatives on foot, southwest, heading northwest, right? Those are the things that you see every fucking day. You don't need a code book for the rest of your life to see this collection of sounds and dots and whatever, right?
Yeah.
To recognize.
Yeah.
So, just something to think about.
Yeah. I just hate feeling like I can't trust these people, but I'll be careful. I just wanted to.
Listen, if You trust them so much. You can share your secret, but I ask that you keep mine.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I would never. Yeah, no, I'll keep mine too. I just wanted to bring the idea to you. I, I'm really not built for this, Alethea.
You're more built than you think. You just need to find the right patterns, right, to start recognizing. That's what you do, right?
Yeah.
It's just different patterns out here. And you just have to find them out fast enough that you don't die to them.
Okay. Yeah, well, thank you. Well,
Of course, Nire Laguna.
Okay, as we head out for the day, give me a if you give me some sort of nature survival roll from one person, or navigate. I mean, sorry. I'll take natural roll, navigate, or I think survival is a roll. But if it's not, then I think navigate's the one I'm looking for. And
it might
then
be
I
navigate.
also need from any one person a spot hidden roll, a
I have
stealth
great
roll,
spot hidden.
and a listen
So
roll.
do I.
So
From the same
those are
person?
the 4 rolls. I need one that has to do with navigate/survival to see how well you can get from where you're getting. That will get the help action from Linda, who also knows the intel, right, of where you're going.
Mhm.
And then one of the 3 rolls can be helped by Ricardo, one of the 3 rolls can be helped by Philippe, and one of the 3 rolls can be helped by the Yanks. So just determine between 3 who's rolling what.
I have
Um,
good
I-
spot hidden.
Okay. Yeah.
my navigate and my listen are both a 60.
My
Elliot, I
navigate's
remember
a 65.
Okay, so why don't you take navigate?
Yeah.
Alethea, what's your listen? 'Cause my spot
My
hidden-
listen is 50, but my stealth and spot hidden are 80. So
You
I
should
think
take stealth. Yes.
Yeah,
Ricardo and I will take
My
stealth.
spot
I'll take
hidden
listen.
is 70.
Perfect.
Yeah, mine's
Everybody
stealth
rolls
stuff.
advantage. Tell me what you get.
Ooh,
You see, if you would have been sick, you just would have rolled regular. I'm not that cruel. It's only episode 2. The death comes later. I need it to mean something.
Hard success on the listen.
hard
success on the stealth.
Yeah, hard success on spot hidden.
All these hard successes. got me
Regular
feeling away.
success on.
God damn it. Fucking
God.
Maggie.
You had one
Jesus
job.
Christ. You had one fucking job. Read
Gay
the math.
Why
I
did
was
you
about to
choose to
fail
do
it,
this?
but
As you were reminded of the arguments with Charlie, no, you. I'm just kidding. You get ready for the evening. You feel like you made a successful amount. You're kind of bedding down a little early. You do not want to travel too much while the sun is down, because there does seem to be on these clear nights a bit of an advantage, as the moon is illuminated, and that like weird canopy of fog that hangs above the trees around mountains acts as like a almost like prisms, right, and like sort of enhances the moonlight into this wooded area where it would normally be covered a lot better. As you get ready to bed down for the night, Ricardo, Linda's sitting over. She's still like poring over. Linda is a like by the book, as you know, Flynn, right? Linda is a like the procedure says actually kind of person, and so they have none of their like references. They are just like willing themselves to remember and try to break this code and find the patterns and find the like little by little, right?
Yeah, and I'll help her if she asks.
Okay, so you guys can roll that at advantage and just hold on to that for a second.
Yeah.
As you're
Cryptography?
Yes. And as you were doing that, Ricardo comes up to you, Elliot.
Ricardo.
Senor Doctor.
Dr. Fowler. But thank you
Senor
for trying to
Dr.
use my
Fowler.
title.
What's...
Is there anything I can help you with?
Yes. I appreciate a man that is direct. Why do you fight?
I wish I could say it's for a noble cause, but I'm here for personal business.
The two are not mutually exclusive. Sometimes personal reasons can be noble. I do not fight for a flag or a country.
And I
That
guess we
is
have
what I
something
think
in
of Spain.
common.
I fight for my people. And I ask you, Dr. Fowler, are you ready to fight?
I'm here to do anything I have to do, if it means bringing justice against the men who killed my husband.
You see like a look of shock at husband, and then like a look of like, damn, like this dude just like put it out in the open. I respect the shit out of that. You see, Dr. Fowler, men like you scare me. Because you were dragged into this war, kicking and screaming. You do not fight because it's what is right. You do not fight because it's what you have to do. Or because it's what you want to do. You don't fight because the moral code inside of you would not allow these fucking monstrosities and these atrocities to exist and happen in your life. You fight because of emotion, and that dies. You fight with fear. You fight to survive. I go into this fight knowing I will die, hoping I will die, and that my body will be used as one of the last steps for my people to step into freedom. I am the vanguard. We are the ones whose lives our descendants will look back on and thank for what they've done for us. Who will look back on your life, Dr. Fowler? And who will look back on it with pride?
I thought I was doing the right thing, staying out of it, getting my hands clean of whatever I was involved with on the fucking boat. That maybe if the world didn't know what happened on the Sophia, it'd be a better place. That if I held that information close to my chest and I died with that information, no one would use it against other people. But look where we are now. I was wrong, okay? I'm willing to admit I was wrong now. My actions got the love of my life fucking killed. And if you think that I'm just this innocent man who's done no hard work, hasn't had to fight in a day of their life, I've had blood on my hands for the last 20 fucking years, Ricardo. I killed. I did what I had to do. And I'm willing to fucking do it again. I don't have anyone to look back on my life anymore. That man's gone. The only person who'd be proud of my life is already dead. My father's already dead. My mother has been dead. I have nothing left to leave. I have nothing to go back to. So if I'm just collateral damage in all of this, so be it.
And be collateral damage with a purpose. And he gives you like a nod and heads out.
I nod back.
And I think as you guys head out on your second day of travel, I would like another set of, or sorry, as you bed down for the night. Sorry, as you bed down for the night, give me another set of first give me some sort of natural world or navigate to see, or well, you had a regular success, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are in a similar situation. Not the best coverage, not the best, but good enough. So you will roll once again con checks to see if you can fight off the chill of a November 23rd evening.
Extreme success.
Okay, that's 2.
Fail.
That's 1 failure.
Thank God that's a regular success, because that was awfully close.
Okay, that's 3.
A regular success.
Perfect. As long as it wasn't a fumble, we were fine. As you guys are bedding down, again, Linda's just like,
Linda, where are you getting this?
they're just like writing a bunch of different options, one by one, character by character, essentially.
Oh, that earlier cryptography was a success, by the way.
Just a regular success?
Yes.
Okay. So you see capture,
Mhm.
and then there's 4 lines, and then it says kill, and then that's where you see 5 on foot. Or sorry, you see 5 other, and then what you didn't see was other combatants, and then the last line that says all heading northwest.
So, kill 5 other combatants?
Yes.
That's 1. Okay.
That was what you were missing, the line above 5 heading northwest.
So kill 5 on foot, capture, heading northwest?
Yeah, it's capture and then 5 blank lines. Or sorry, 4 blank lines. I apologize.
Yeah.
And those are like full lines all the way across, and it looks like bullets almost. And then it says 5 more on foot, kill the rest. And then heading northwest towards the facility. There's no name.
Can I make another cryptography to get more out of that?
You can do it in the morning if you want, or you can give up your rest, which will give you a con roll at disadvantage to see if you can. Yeah, okay. That's what you get. More, and then you guys, as you head into your sweet dreams, we will end today's session.
Yay!
Come back once again and see what else lies in the woods of the Pyrenees. Try a new thing. Try not to leave every episode on a cliffhanger. So there's that. Thank you for sticking with us. We hope to see you next time. Bye.
Get in the Discord.
Get in the Discord.